Jeff Bezos made the stupid mistake of sending nude pictures to his girlfriend, only for those pictures to be leaked to the press. While Bill Gates became a laughingstock when he did something ridiculous on camera during a company event. Even with their wealth and intelligence, billionaires keep getting caught doing dumb stuff on cameras. However, there are few things dumber than what Elon Musk did while appearing on a podcast in September 2018. It all began when Elon Musk, the billionaire founder of Tesla and SpaceX, agreed to be a guest on the Joe Rogan podcast. Even before the show, Elon was notorious for his weird personality and unpredictable behavior. But this podcast was simply two men having a chat. What's the worst that could happen? The world had no idea what was about to hit them. The show started well, with the two men sharing ideas on technology, business, and politics. But it quickly veered into dangerous waters when Joe unexpectedly lit a joint right in front of Musk.
So is that a joint? Or is it a cigar?
No.
Okay.
It's marijuana
it's
inside
weed.
of tobacco.
Oh, okay. So it's like pot tobacco
Yeah.
posh.
You never had that?
Yeah, I think I tried one once.
Come on, man. You want some of that?
And then, after taking a puff, Joe Rogan offered the joint to Elon. Musk hesitated and asked whether weed was legal in California, which is where the interview took place. For a few seconds, it seemed like Elon Musk was going to resist this obvious temptation. Elon did the unthinkable. He grabbed that joint and took a puff. The clip of Elon smoking marijuana tore through the internet at lightning speed, sparking a burst of headlines, memes, and debates. While most people saw nothing wrong with what Elon did, others labeled it as reckless and irresponsible. The biggest problem was that Elon was the CEO of a publicly traded company, and therefore his actions could negatively affect the brand and value of the company he runs. And they were right. This smoking fiasco triggered a fall in the price of Tesla's stock. Some critics believed this stunt would destroy everything Elon had built over decades. Luckily, that didn't happen. Tesla's shares bounced back and the issue was gradually forgotten. However, we can't say the same for billionaire Elizabeth Holmes, whose stupid actions on camera wiped out every penny she'd made in her life.
Ms. Holmes, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do.
Holmes taking her last steps of freedom.
Defrauding investors out of hundreds of millions of dollars.
I don't know. I can't remember.
To properly understand the stupid thing Elizabeth did on camera, you must first understand why she did it. In 2003, Elizabeth Holmes launched a startup called Theranos and made a big promise. She claimed she'd invented a machine that could perform over 100 medical tests using a few drops of blood from a finger prick. This was a game changer, and investors pumped about $900 million into her company. This made Holmes the world's youngest female self-made billionaire.
A healthcare pioneer is being compared to visionaries Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. Elizabeth Holmes, her mission is to allow blood testing at a fraction of Medicare costs, and made Holmes the world's youngest female self-made billionaire.
But that's when things stopped making sense. Everything from this point is pure madness. It turns out that Elizabeth's machine didn't work. It was just a fancy metal box with a cool label. Elizabeth built her entire business around fake tests, fake results, and fake engineering. But there was one more fake thing that was just plain stupid. Elizabeth even faked her voice so that people would see her as some strange, crazy genius. Anytime she was on camera, she would speak with this deep, baritone voice that made her sound like a cyborg. She did it here.
Know that they have a basic human right to be able to get access to information about themselves and their own bodies.
And here,
But on average, and in metropolitan service areas,
and here,
I would sit here, literally here in the hallway, waiting for him to come back to his office to try to convince him to let me into his graduate research program.
and in a dozen other interviews. Maintaining a fake voice was so difficult that she often made mistakes and slipped into her real voice, like in this interview.
And came in asking if they could do a finger stick. And our team in Arizona called us and said, what do we do? And because the man didn't have fingers. And it turned out he had a nub on.
Unfortunately, the Theranos scam couldn't last forever. After the Wall Street Journal published an investigative article raising suspicions about Theranos technology, the house of cards began to fall. But Elizabeth stubbornly held on to her fake voice until she was dragged to court on charges of investor fraud. Even though Elizabeth claimed she was innocent, it was difficult to believe she didn't fake her invention when there were tons of videos proving she faked her own voice. In 2023, Holmes finally admitted that the voice was fake, saying she created it to be taken seriously and not taken as a little girl or a girl who didn't have good technical ideas. Theranos' collapse wiped out Holmes' multi-billion-dollar fortune, and today she's serving time in jail. But while Holmes' behavior on camera cost her fortune, this next billionaire boosted his brand by playing the fool on camera. In May 2013, this funny video was splashed on TV screens across the world.
Yeah, it's true. We both had Grand Prix team.
This weird-looking individual is billionaire Richard Branson, the founder of Virgin Group. But why on earth was he wearing a flight attendant's uniform with red lipstick, blue eyeshadow, and false eyelashes? Well, it turns out Branson was dressed that way because he'd lost a bet to Tony Fernandez, CEO of Air Asia. Both men owned teams that were competing in the Formula One racing series. They agreed the owner of the losing team would become a flight attendant in the winner's airline. It's not hard to guess who won. During the flight, Branson actually worked as a flight attendant. He poured drinks, served meals, and made flight announcements, all while dressed like a lady.
Tony, thank you very much. Can you zip it down, please?
This stunt created free publicity for both men's companies. But it got even better. Branson used the attention to raise money for a charity that supports children.
Glad to have got this bet over and done with, and looking forward to getting back into my own clothes. But it was great. We raised lots of money for the Starlight Foundation.
But while Branson's buffoonery made people love him more, Vishal Garg's actions made him public enemy number one. Not many people knew who Vishal Garg was before December 2021. He was a billionaire businessman and CEO of Better.com. But he wasn't famous, and he wasn't trying to be. Little did he know that he was about to be recognized by millions of people, and it wouldn't be for a good reason. Vishal's problems began during a meeting with employees of his company. During that meeting, which was held over Zoom, Vishal shocked 900 of his employees by firing them on the spot.
Thank you for joining. I come to you with not great news. This isn't news that you're going to want to hear, but ultimately it was my decision, and I wanted you to hear from me. It's been a really, really challenging decision to make. This is the second time in my career I'm doing this, and I do not want to do this. The last time I did it, I cried. This time I hope to be stronger. If you're on this call, you are part of the unlucky group being laid off. Your employment here is terminated, effective immediately. I wish you all the best of luck. Thank you for everything you've done for Better.
Firing someone should be handled with care and compassion. But that's the opposite of what Vishal did. It gets more annoying when you realize this happened around Christmas, a season that should be filled with joy. Therefore, it was no surprise when one of the angry employees uploaded the Zoom video to social media for the world to see. And all hell broke loose. Vishal was blasted on every podcast, TV show, and blog. He became the poster boy for evil billionaires who don't care about their employees. In response to the backlash, he issued a public apology, promising to do better in the future. But that didn't do much to save the situation. It only made things worse. Even though his reputation is in the gutter, Vishal was lucky that the bad publicity didn't significantly affect his bank account. He's still worth about $4 billion. Kanye West, on the other hand, wasn't that lucky, because he lost nearly $1 billion overnight when he made some stupid comments on camera. Any conversation about Kanye West must begin with the fact that Kanye West has always been a troublemaker. From interrupting Taylor Swift during her acceptance speech to saying slavery was a choice, Kanye has mastered the art of creating chaos. However, instead of all this controversy killing Kanye's brand, it did the opposite. Fans interpreted Kanye's stunts as proof that he's courageous and not afraid to speak his mind. This catapulted Kanye's fame to stratospheric heights, helping him launch a multi-billion-dollar fashion brand called Yeezy. Little did his fans know the things they adored about Kanye would one day make them hate him. In 2022, during his appearance on the Drink Champs podcast, Kanye made a series of anti-Semitic comments, blaming Jews for his business problems and painting them as power-hungry bullies standing in the way of his progress.
Could you even really run this interview? Because Mav didn't run my interview.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They blocked me out. The Jewish media blocked me out. This shit lit, right? I'm lit, right? I'm lit. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of y'all no more. And we don't have to be afraid. I understand that they got us so paid off every which way, they cutting down. And my whole point just off the tweet, the fact that, what does that even mean, what I said? And the fact that I got taken off proves my point.
But it only got worse. When the hosts advised Kanye to be careful of his comments, it rather emboldened him to say wilder stuff.
And now, the thing about it, me and Adidas, is like, I could literally say anti-Semitic shit and they can't drop me. I could say anti-Semitic things and Adidas can't drop me. Now what? Now what?
So what happened after the show? Adidas dropped him. The shoe company issued a statement condemning hate speech and cancelled its contract with Kanye. But that wasn't enough to stop Kanye. He went on another show and said even worse things.
You're not Hitler, you're not a Nazi, you don't deserve to be called that and demonized.
Well, I see good things about Hitler also. The Jew, I love everyone. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table.
The loss of the Adidas contract cost Kanye his billionaire status, instantly slashing $1 billion off his net worth. But at least Kanye knew he was on camera when he said what he said. On the other hand, the next billionaire on this list wasn't aware his actions were being filmed for the world to see. In 2017, this video of Uber CEO Travis Kalanick arguing with an Uber driver went viral on the internet. It's not every day you see a billionaire arguing with a driver, so obviously people were curious about what they could be arguing about. It turns out that they were arguing over Uber prices.
I lost $97,000 because of you.
I bankrupt because of you.
Look.
Yes.
You know what?
You keep changing every day. You keep changing
Hold on a
every
second.
day.
What have I changed about black?
Huh?
What have
you
I
changed
changed?
the whole business.
What?
You dropped the prices.
On black?
Yes, you did.
Bullshit.
We started with $20.
Bullshit.
We started with $20.
In the video, the driver tells Kalanick that he has lost money because of Uber's policies, to which Kalanick responds by yelling, "Some people don't like to take responsibility for their own shit." Instead of the CEO using this as an opportunity to understand the struggles of being an Uber driver, he scolded the driver for complaining like a spoiled child. It's not hard to guess what happened after the video came out. The public was angry, labeling Kalanick insensitive and arrogant. The criticism was so much that Kalanick had to resign as CEO because the bad publicity was damaging Uber's brand. But while Kalanick's actions on camera made people angry, Bill Gates' stupid actions had the opposite effect, by making people laugh. This is a cringy video of Bill Gates trying to dance. It was recorded over 20 years ago, during the launch of Windows 95. This was a big moment for Microsoft, because they were unveiling their next big product. Unfortunately, human beings tend to act silly when they're happy. Bill Gates and the other Microsoft bosses expressed their joy by dancing. Unfortunately, Bill is a horrible dancer. He spent the whole time shuffling around and dancing offbeat like a malfunctioning robot. It's safe to say Bill Gates wouldn't be a billionaire if he had to make money from dancing, singing, or show business. Although, one billionaire who's been very successful in show business is Donald Trump. The problem is that show business comes with a lot of cameras, and unfortunately for Trump, one of those cameras caught him saying some pretty nasty things. In October 2016, just weeks before the presidential election, a leaked recording of Donald Trump making vulgar comments found its way to the internet. In the recording, Donald Trump talked about trying to sleep with a married woman, and also bragging that he could get away with harassing women because of his celebrity status.
I better use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss.
Of course, Trump wasn't aware the mic was on while saying all this stuff. But that didn't matter. He said what he said.
And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Whatever you want. Grab them by the pussy.
Even though the recording was from 2005, which was 10 years earlier, it was still extremely damaging to Trump's campaign. To salvage the situation, Trump apologized and tried to downplay the incident.
I said it, I was wrong, and I apologize.
And the damage control worked, because Trump bounced back from that scandal, won the election, and became the President of the United States. However, Trump isn't the only billionaire with presidential ambitions. Pablo Escobar, the billionaire cocaine trafficker, spent his life dreaming of becoming the president of Colombia. However, those political ambitions never became a reality because of what Pablo was caught doing on camera. It wasn't just scandalous, it was illegal. Many people don't know this, but Pablo Escobar was once the 7th richest man in the world, with a net worth of $30 billion. But unlike other billionaires on the list, the source of Pablo's wealth was illegal activities, specifically the trafficking of cocaine. But because Pablo was so careful, there wasn't much evidence to prove he was involved in the illegal drug trade. That was until the CIA convinced one of the pilots who smuggled cocaine for Pablo to plant a secret camera in his plane.
The camera was mounted here on this bulkhead by the CIA. They had a remote control camera enclosed in an electronics box with a small eye on it so that it looked like an electronic gizmo inside the airplane.
the remote control camera produced a remarkable set of photographs.
That secret camera snapped this picture of Pablo Escobar loading bags of cocaine onto the plane. These photos were later used as evidence to charge Pablo Escobar. Speaking of photos that are linked to criminal activity, a certain picture of Prince Andrew, a senior member of the billion-dollar British royal family, has gotten him into a lot of trouble. In 2011, this photo of Prince Andrew was published. At first glance, it seems like an innocent picture, but apparently, this photo is evidence of a crime. The lady in the picture, Virginia Joffrey, claimed she was forced to sleep with the prince multiple times.
It was a wicked time in my life. It was a really scary time in my life. I had just been abused by a member of a royal family. I didn't know what could happen. And I couldn't comprehend how in the highest levels of the government and powerful people were allowing this to happen. Not only allowing it to happen, but participating in it.
Who forced her? This guy, Jeffrey Epstein, a convicted felon who ran a sex ring of underage girls. Anyway, Virginia sued Prince Andrew and used this photo as a key piece of evidence. The photo embarrassed the British royal family and tarnished Prince Andrew's reputation. But while Prince Andrew's photos were tarnishing his reputation, Vladimir Putin's photos were turning him into a sex symbol. On a scale of 1 to 10, rate how sexy this picture looks. What about this one? And this? If you don't think these pictures look hot, then the mission was a failure, because the main reason these pictures were taken was to make billionaire Russian President Vladimir Putin look like a sex symbol and a macho man. And though this might sound pointless, it'll make more sense when you understand the political reasons for it.
That's nothing. Putin's been snapped fishing shirtless, hunting shirtless. Most Russians don't laugh at such vanity. They lap it up.
What it shows here is that he's fit, he's strong, he's not a drink.
These pictures of Putin engaging in tough physical activities imply he's strong and capable enough to lead the country. If Russians believe Putin is manly and sexy, it boosts his popularity and makes it easier to rule. But political reasons aside, these pictures are still ridiculous. Particularly this one, which has been edited to show Putin riding a bear instead of a horse. The next billionaire on this list also got into trouble for filming himself with his girlfriend. But when the video got out, it made him look like a monster. In 2023, Cassie, an R&B singer who used to date Diddy, sued him. In her lawsuit, she claimed Diddy did a lot of horrible things to her during their relationship, including regularly beating her. Even though Diddy denied the allegations, he quickly settled the lawsuit out of court and paid Cassie millions of dollars to go away. The public wasn't sure who to side with, Diddy or Cassie. That was until a video showing Cassie hiding under a blanket while Diddy yelled at her hit the internet.
What you gotta say now? What you gotta say now? You ain't got shit to say. When you put your girl on the snap, baby, yo, babe. I mean, shit getting weird. Come on, baby, it's hot outside. You fucking wrapped up in that blanket. Let's go jog on the beach.
The baffling thing about this video is that Diddy recorded it himself. No one knows the context of this video, but it looks like evidence of Diddy bullying Cassie. Thanks to this video, many people now believe Diddy is guilty of everything Cassie accused him of. But billionaires aren't stupid. They've learned from their mistakes and are now spending millions of dollars to guarantee their privacy when they do stupid stuff. Billionaires want places where they can do whatever they want without worrying about cameras. And those places are called secret private billionaire clubs. You'll be shocked about the kind of stuff that goes on behind those closed doors. Click here to discover what happens inside the secret clubs of the ultra-rich.